Yeah, just to go back in here, I was also on this, I always put this bike on this piece of wood here. I was always having a damp bit on this piece of wood. Every morning I'd come in the garage and get my push bike out here. And I'd just look on there was always something underneath, and I changed the, I'll show you actually, let's just find this. I changed the gasket. Let me just go and turn my light on. It's quite unusual this, because a lot of people won't like this, but I can actually walk across my garage floor. And if you've seen any of my previous videos, you probably know that that's not the case too often. But I actually changed, this is the gasket from the float ball on the carburettor, and it was just a bit worn out, and it just had a slight leak. No matter what I did with it, how hard I tightened it up, it just had a slight leak on the carburettor, and every single time I would come in here there would be that patch on the floor. And since I've changed that, I've not had that yesterday at all, and I've been out on the bike as well, so that's a good sign. So just find a way of manually choking this to get it started on a morning. It would be great. So that's my next little project, I think. Just going back to this mower here, actually when I was on my computer last night, I've not even been on the laptop that much recently, I actually looked at this and I'd actually, in fact let's get it out, I'd actually filmed some repair vids on this and I'd forgotten I'd done it. So I may put them online, but I can't even remember where I got to with it. I just saw them on the video camera. In fact, let's pull it out and let's try and fire it up. It's awful when you can't remember, because it's only been a few months really, but I think this one had a bent blade underneath. It's one of them typical mowers when you pick it up from someone and you know they've had a go at it already, you can just tell. Because there's all sorts of things like this. I mean, what's that? You know, someone's just, the air filter box, the big giveaways I've said on a lot of videos, as well as something that I used to do, to be honest with you, is until someone pointed out to me, people say, oh, it was working last year. I'll say it was working last year and it's just not starting, and the air filter box will be on that way around with this at the front. It should actually sit like that. So if you see one on an eBay listing and this air filter box doesn't line up along here and it's actually this way around here, then take it from me, somebody's had a go at it, which they're in the right to do, but they always put, oh, I've not touched it, it just won't start. If that's on the wrong way around, they've been in telltale signs like this as well. But I think, from memory anyway, I think this had a blade on I couldn't get off. I think it was a bit bent. Yeah, it's all, this has all come off here on the blade as well. It's not sat on there properly. All these pins, see how these pins have broken off here? That tells you that it's hit something. This blade's bent as well. It's almost touching the side of this deck here. You can see the clearance we've got there, that side. Just a little tip as well. Yeah, good. Just make sure that this spark plug lead is off, which I've done. You can see how near it is to that, how near it is to the deck, how much grass has built up in there, so that's bent. And this part here, this blade adapter, should have two pins on here where this sits, so it's obviously hit something, spun around, so the timing will be out. But I think from memory I couldn't get this, I couldn't get that undone, which was causing me a problem. If I could get that undone and put another blade on, I might be able to get this running alright. But just for fun, just really because I can't remember, let's try to start this up. Tell you what, this is a walk back past. Let's just fire my bike up before I put it away. Watch this now, watch. There we are. That's fine. Annoying that really, but yeah, let's. I'm just going to put my bike back in the garage and we'll fire this mower up. I've just dropped some fresh fuel in there, just a little bit, to about halfway. I normally like to fill them up to at least halfway. It's a real test of memory, but I think this starts but runs really rough. So let's find out. I can tell the fuel's going through. So if you ever take the air filter off the top of here, press this primer button, you can actually see the fuel going through. In fact, I'll show that. I'll probably show you this before. But if you ever get a mower where you press this primer button here, you see the fuel going through. Actually see it squirting through, watch. I've had mowers where that won't squirt through, then you know already there's a problem with the carburettor. So let's just put that back on there. So there's some fuel going in. It won't start if we don't connect this up, of course. I've done that before. Stood there pulling these pull cords and they're breaking your arm and it's not connected up. I know the blade's tight and there's no one else out here, so I'm going to try and fire this up. starts and runs does that, and you could argue there'd be a problem with the carburettor, but I think a lot of that is to do with the blade being bent and the timing being out as well. I think I might have had this carburettor off by the looks of that as well and serviced that. So although it starts and runs, until I can get this blade off and get a blade adapter put on it, I don't really think I can get this running properly. Now there's mowers like this in the past that I could have spent a long time on, and I can't even remember what I paid for this, but it's the beginning of summer now, and I'll be honest with you, I'm sort of tempted to put that on a spares or repair, just because I can't get the blade off. I don't know if I have the blade that's the same. I'd have to buy a blade adapter. Let's say a blade adapter's, let's say it's £8. Let's say I've got to buy a blade. I can't afford to do that. That'd be £30-ish. And I haven't got any spare ones in at the minute, as far as I'm aware, on my shelf hanging up. So I'm looking at sort of spending another, let's say, even if I could find a blade, let's say another £10-15. And what's it going to sell for? This is the question I have to ask myself. Not being negative, because I never am about these mowers. But at the end of the day, this is only a small mower. It's only a push one as well. It's got this handle here, for anyone who's new to this. This is just to release the brake so it'll start. You don't actually have another handle on here that actually drives the mower along. It's tidied up, it could be in nice condition, but there's a lot of little things wrong with it, and it's not running very well at all. And there is a case with mowers like this, as I've said before. If you can't even remember what I've paid for this, it won't have been more than £10 or £15. It is sometimes easier just to sell them on and just cut your losses and move on to the next mower. So I'll have a look on my phone and I'll see what else we can find.